Why is it that when the day ends, the door clicks shut, the lights soften, and the noise outside slowly fades, your body feels like it's finally coming back to itself? Not just relaxed, more like something very specific. You no longer have to be seen, no longer have to be expected, no longer have to stay ready to respond at any second. And why is it that when other people feel disappointed because the plans got canceled, the gathering got pushed back, you feel something in you quietly lighten? Why is it that you're not actually done with life, yet you've been resisting going out more and more, resisting small talk, dinner plans, social obligations, anything that demands constant energy, emotion, and performance? You don't hate people. You might even cherish the people around you. But somewhere along the way, every outing started to feel like borrowing from tomorrow, like spending energy you don't fully have. And then, why does this choice start turning against you? Am I avoiding life? Am I slowly shrinking? Is something wrong with me that I need quiet this much? If these questions feel familiar, then this episode isn't about whether staying home is good or bad, and it's not a lesson on how to become more outgoing, more positive, more social. It's about something that's rarely understood with any real depth. When someone starts needing home more and more, what has their body and mind actually been through? Is this craving for quiet a personality trait, a nervous system pattern, or the result of experiences you've gotten used to, so used to you stopped realizing they shaped you? For many people, staying home isn't a decision they made with full awareness. It's not something you sat down one day and weighed out with a rational list of pros and cons. It's not a carefully designed lifestyle choice. Most of the time, it happens quietly. You simply start noticing that when stimulation decreases, when voices fade, when the stream of messages and expectations finally pauses, your body loosens before your mind even catches up. Your shoulders stop tensing without permission. Your breathing gets deeper, slower. Your brain stops trying to hold 10 unfinished signals at once. Here's a key psychological idea. A lot of what we do isn't something we think our way into. It's something the nervous system builds after carrying stress for too long. When you live inside constant demands, constant evaluation, constant emotional labor, your body realizes sooner than your thoughts do. This can't be sustained forever. At first, you might become even more effortful, more alert, more polite, more on. But when the fight or flight pattern runs too long and costs too much, your nervous system starts searching for another way out, not by pushing harder, but by pulling back, by reducing input, by lowering the pressure. And that's when home starts to change. Not because it's more exciting, but because it's more controllable. The light is familiar. The sounds are predictable. No one is constantly expecting you to answer, explain, or perform. To your nervous system, this isn't laziness. It's self-regulation. And once your body learns the equation, quiet equals safety, this stops being a preference. It becomes a survival strategy your system has tested again and again. A lot of people who love staying home don't actually dislike social connection. They can genuinely enjoy deep conversations, focused listening, and giving warm, thoughtful responses. The real issue is rarely, "Do you want to go?" It's, "Can you keep paying the cost over time?" Because what drains you isn't always the meeting itself. It's the kind of presence that requires constant real-time adjustment. You have to keep up with the pace, read tone, track the invisible rules, decide whether a joke crossed a line, figure out if you should respond, and how much of yourself to show. For example, a coworker casually says after work, "Want to grab a drink?" You go. The conversation is fine. You even laugh naturally here and there. But in a loud bar, music, voices, bright lights, shifting emotions, your mind feels like it has a dozen tabs open at once, listening, thinking, correcting, managing, staying appropriate, staying likable. Nothing terrible happens that night. The real cost shows up later. When you get home, when the door closes, when your shoes come off, your body finally catches up. Your head feels swollen, your thoughts slow down. Even replying to one message feels heavy. It's not sadness, it's not anxiety. It's the feeling of being used up. Scrolling won't fix it, a quick distraction won't repair it. What you're missing isn't fun, it's space. So home doesn't feel like escape, it feels like a reset. When the stimulation is low enough, your nervous system can slowly return to baseline. You're not someone who doesn't like people. You're someone who can't live in a cycle of constant depletion without real restoration. Most people don't realize this. Wanting to stay home usually doesn't start with, "I just like quiet." More often, it begins with an earlier lesson, that being outside costs too much, and that cost doesn't have to be one obvious trauma. Most of the time, it's small, repeated, and easy to dismiss. Maybe it comes from a work environment that never truly loosens its grip. Meetings where you're always ready to be questioned. A culture where you're expected to be sharp, fast, agreeable, and never show the wrong emotion. Even casual office conversations can start to feel like a test. Say the right thing, laugh at the right moment, don't be too quiet, don't be too honest. Or maybe it comes from relationships that carry a slow, constant pressure. You keep explaining your boundaries, you keep managing other people's moods, you keep swallowing moments of discomfort because it's easier than having to deal with conflict. Over time, something shifts. You begin to link going out with having to give something, and the world stops feeling neutral. You notice it in a strange way. You feel tired before anything even happens. Your clothes aren't on yet, but your mind is already rehearsing. What will we talk about? Will someone ask something I don't want to answer? How long do I have to stay? How do I leave without seeming rude? Nothing has happened, and your body is already preparing. Your shoulders tighten, your breathing gets shallower, your attention starts scanning for what might go wrong. This is your nervous system learning to protect you in advance, so staying home stops being comfortable. It becomes pain relief, not happiness, just less strain. And when something reliably reduces strain, your body remembers it. This isn't weakness, it isn't laziness, it's your system learning that pulling back early feels safer than breaking down later. For many people, solitude isn't emptiness, it's a form of repair. In quiet, you can finally gather back the attention that was pulled apart all day by notifications, conversations, expectations, interruptions, performance. Not to think deeply for the sake of it, but to stop reacting. To let your body and brain step out of constant response mode. All the feelings you didn't have time to process, the discomfort you swallowed to stay polite, the tiny pressures you handled in the moment but never had space to actually feel, they finally get room to exist. The real function of solitude isn't to make you smarter, it's to make you coherent again. That's why it matters so much to people who create and think for a living. Writers, designers, musicians, researchers, builders of any kind. The ideas that carry weight rarely appear in places where you're constantly interrupted. They don't form in environments where you have to respond instantly and stay socially on. They show up in long, uninterrupted stretches, when you don't have to prove you're useful, don't have to perform clarity, don't have to split yourself into a version others can consume. In that kind of quiet, thoughts reconnect, emotions stop being fragments, your inner life becomes whole again. But solitude isn't risk-free. It's a gift with an edge. When outside feedback disappears, your inner voice gets louder. What begins as reflection can quietly slide into overanalysis. Doubt sharpens, perfectionism creeps in, your mind loops, edits, rewinds, and nothing lands. If solitude only turns inward without ever flowing back into life, it can shift from repair into enclosure. The issue is never solitude itself. The question is whether it still stays connected to the movement of your life, or whether it has become a place you never leave. There's a change almost no one warns you about. It doesn't arrive suddenly. There's no clear moment that says, from here on, you're not just resting. At first, staying home genuinely helps. You cancel plans and your body exhales. You decline invitations and your emotions feel steadier. That feeling, finally not having to push yourself, is real, reasonable, even healing. The problem is how easily that relief becomes a pattern. Gradually, you don't just need rest, You stop looking forward to going out at all, not because you're exhausted, but because the idea itself no longer lights anything up inside you. Before an invitation even arrives, your mind starts calculating the cost. How much energy will this take? How long will I have to stay on? Will I have to explain myself again? Will I come home feeling drained for 2 days? The world hasn't become terrifying. It just starts to feel far away, like it belongs to someone else's life. And that's what makes it so hard to notice. You're not miserable. You're not in constant pain. You're not having dramatic breakdowns. You're simply moving less. And your life quietly contracts. This is why retreat can look so reasonable from the outside. There's no obvious crisis, no dramatic collapse. You're just spending more and more time in the places that require the least energy, the least unpredictability, the least emotional labor. Until one day, something becomes clear. You're not recovering anymore. You're stuck. The very strategy that once protected you is now narrowing your world. The danger was never quiet itself. The danger is whether quiet still leads back to living. When solitude is no longer a place you rest so you can return to life, but a place you stay to avoid uncertainty altogether. That's when you've crossed a line that's thin, subtle, and deeply important. When people finally realize that they're no longer just resting, but slowly pulling back from life, the advice they hear is almost always the same. Just get out more. Push yourself. You can't stay home forever. But this advice usually misses the point. The issue is never that you didn't go out enough. The issue is that for a long time, your system was forced to carry too much. If your nervous system has learned to associate the outside world with tension, overload, and depletion, then suddenly increasing stimulation only reinforces the need to defend. Real balance is never created by swinging from one extreme to another. It's not about throwing yourself back into loud rooms and crowded spaces. And it's not about pretending you're ready when you're not. It's a different skill entirely. Learning how to move, slowly and deliberately, between solitude and connection. Not excitement, not intensity, but contact that feels safe enough. That might look like a walk where no conversation is required, a meeting without an agenda, being present somewhere with permission to leave whenever you need to. These moments may seem small, but to your nervous system, they're transformative because they carry a new message. The outside world doesn't always demand. Connection doesn't always cost everything. Presence doesn't require self-erasure. You begin teaching your body something new, that being with others can be gentle, that you're allowed to pause, adjust, step back, instead of holding yourself together at all costs. In this process, home remains important. It's still where you rest, reset, and return to yourself. But it's no longer the only place you feel safe. It becomes a base, not a border, a place you leave from and return to by choice, not retreat. Sustainable change rarely arrives as a dramatic breakthrough. More often, it shows up quietly, as respect for your own system. You don't need to become outgoing overnight. You only need to stop letting your life shrink and allow safety, little by little, to step beyond the front door. If you've been telling yourself that your desire to stay home means something is wrong with you, that you're not motivated enough, not resilient enough, not moving forward fast enough, there's something important you deserve to know. This was never weakness. It was a system that once protected you. At some point, when the world became too loud, too fast, too demanding, when you had to keep responding, adapting, holding yourself together, your body found an effective solution. Pull back, save energy, survive first. That wasn't failure. It was intelligence. The problem was never your need for quiet. The problem is only when quiet becomes the only way you're allowed to feel safe. You don't need to apologize for wanting to stay home. And you don't need to force yourself to be louder, more social, more visible, just to prove that you're normal. The goal was never more noise. The goal is wholeness. A life where you can land in solitude and still breathe in connection. Where you can return home to repair yourself and step back into the world without abandoning who you are. You can have a home that restores you, and you can have a world that no longer feels constantly tightening around you. Not all at once, not by force, just slowly, at a pace that lets life begin moving again. If this episode put words to feelings you've carried quietly for a long time, then you're not alone. Many people live this way. They just rarely hear it named. This is Felix. May you understand yourself a little deeper and treat the growing version of you with patience and kindness. See you next time.